All right, here's part 2 of the Tecumseh HH120 teardown. Everything is looking still pretty decent. I'd say the cylinder is worn pretty even. After completely removing the piston, you can probably see the change in color, or not color, but the shine on the cylinder. About the last eighth of it is still got a crosshatch in it. There's a slight ridge here towards the bottom, but I think it's still savable. Might have to go clear up to 30 thousandths over size. I know a website online called iSaveTractors.com has parts available, pistons and rings, all the way up to 30 thousandths over size. So that might be my next option. I'm not sure if that ridge will hone out of there or not. This little side cover here, bearing cover, was completely tight, nothing loose on that, and my valve seats look pretty clean. The only problem is when I pulled my exhaust valve out, I had a exhaust valve guide come out with it. So when this goes into the machine shop, it might need to have new valve guides put in it. I'm not entirely sure if it'll need new ones, or the old one that come out, if it can be put back in there. Not entirely sure about all that. Overall, the piston is not in horrible shape. There's some minor scoring on the sides. The rings are pretty clean and carbon free. This is about how clean it was when I pulled it out of the engine. Don't see anything too alarming here. I can't feel any play in the wrist pin, and the connecting rod had some slight scoring in the center. This was pretty difficult to get the connecting rod cap off. Not sure if that's common, but I had to beat it off. It was pretty difficult to get loose. So all in all, nothing overly alarming there. The crank bearings and everything look pretty good. I haven't got a good measurement on the crank pin yet, but I'm thinking it's okay, and I'm thinking that my crank bearings are fine. They shouldn't need any kind of attention, but I might end up replacing them anyways. We'll see what kind of parts I can locate. But up here on the shelf, I wanted to show that exhaust valve, how the guide came off with the valve when I pulled the valve off. Bear with me for a second here. The camera's going to be wiggling around. You can kind of see this guide here that came right out with the valve stem. Not sure if that's good or bad. Anyways, the valves look like they're in pretty good shape. I don't think they're worn, so I think those are probably reusable. Another interesting thing that I had no idea about was on this clutch mounting bracket for the drive clutch that bolts to the engine, has this little needle bearing in it, and all these little needle bearings fell out of there. I think I was able to salvage all of them, but I might have to locate a new needle bearing to insert in there when I go to put this thing all back together. So anyways, that's the update for today. I'm going to be taking the box of engine parts into the machinist sometime tomorrow, and we'll find out how bad she really is, because mostly everything from here on out is a little over my head, but I still think it's savable. At least I hope anyways. Camshaft looks pretty good too. I got it in a box here with some other bolts. I mean, there's some minor scoring on the lobes, but they could probably be cleaned up, and I don't think that they're really worn down any. They may be ever so slightly, but we'll see. I'll have to measure all that up too. But anyways, Rooney, your insight is much appreciated. I don't know if you've ever had one of these things fully apart before, but I'm sure you have, and any information you have would be much appreciated. All right, thanks. Take care.